Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning into this new video. I'm Sarton, I'm an OSU player, I am the creator of CC Tournaments. The channel you're watching on is also from CC Tournaments. And I'm a tournament host myself, and I organize these things. And there's this new thing that is kind of bugging me, and it's already been quite a bit since this information has been given to me, but it hasn't been given yet publicly. And I want to address this problem, in my opinion, and I want to see if we can find some kind of fix for it. So I hope you'll watch the entire video, because it's kind of a problem, and for me as a tournament host it really bugs me a lot, and I hope we can find some kind of solution together for this. So a while back, on the 22nd of October, I wrote a mail to the tournament staff of OSU, asking them for permission to give me client access for the tournament server, as well as asking for prizes for my new tournament. This year I'm hosting the second edition of the so-called succes tournament. More information about that tournament will be linked in the description in the form of a video as well. But basically it's a catch-to-beat tournament. It's one of the bigger ones. It really sparked a lot of tournament enthusiasm previous year, and this is the second edition, and I'm trying to make this as successful as possible. And I got a mail back. I'll link both mails in the description as well, so you can read them for yourselves without any names written in it or anything, just to keep it a little bit anonymous. I got a basic response, kind of automated as well. I'm pretty sure most of the message was automated except for the last sentence, stating that there will be no more given tournament prizes for any kind of OSU community driven tournaments. And this really bugs me a lot, because that's a really big part for tournaments, and there's just a few problems that sparkle down because of this happening. Now the weird part about all this is that there's still no formal post about this change being made into the tournament section of the forums, even though the mail promised that it would be there as soon as possible. And since OWC is already ongoing, the tournament staff has definitely had some work these past days, and they just haven't focused on this at all. So please allow me to go over the problems that this new change is going to cause in, I think, 3 of the 4 modes of OSU, except for OSU Standard. And I'm telling you this because OSU Standard, let's just say, has a very big player base, way bigger than for OSU Cats, Taiko or Mania, resulting in a lot of players being more interested in tournaments without prizes, because the player base is just so huge. Even though not everybody in OSU Standard is interested in prizes as well, just like in every mode, because there's so many players it will always be filled up anyway, or at least the tournament spots for the players. So that's not going to be a big issue for OSU Standard. But for us, the catch to beaters, this is going to form a really big problem since our player base is just way smaller. So let me go over a few problems that this causes. So first, to go over the obvious parts, this is definitely going to decrease the player turn-up rates when it comes down to tournaments. Why? Because tournaments should feel like a competition. You should be able to get a reward for playing well, training, and striving towards that goal. And removing this feature for any kind of OSU community-based tournaments will ensure that a lot of players won't be interested in these anymore, because they will have to put in a lot of effort in these tournaments. They will have to train for these, they will have to play maps they don't even like, and it will result in basically nothing. What does that lead to? That leads to tournament hosts not being as excited for these tournaments anymore, and not wanting to make them anymore. Because as a tournament host, I myself, I can tell you this, I like it when I have a high turn-up rate, and I don't like it when I don't. And that's just due to the fact because we want to get appreciated for our work as well. Because we're putting together this really nice community-based thing, and we want people to see it, appreciate it, and play in it. So the lesser players that join my tournament, for example, the less hyped I'll be for tournaments. And maybe I won't be doing tournaments anymore next year if this continues to happen every so often. That leads us to the next problem, and that is that players are not going to take tournaments seriously anymore. They're just going to take CWC for granted and seriously, but the rest of the tournaments are just basically scrims. And people don't play as seriously in scrims as they do for real, let's just say, because it's just a different thing. And that means that if you want to broadcast this on Twitch, for example, you're going to get a lot of matches where it's going to be either 4-0, because it's going to be a team who takes it kind of seriously against a team who doesn't take it seriously at all. And when they go and play against each other, the team that takes it a little bit seriously is of course going to win. the team that practiced. So it's not going to be as interesting for people to watch anymore, and it won't inspire people either, because people just won't want to play in tournaments anymore, because it's just a messed up scene anyway, and they don't want to host things anymore because it's not even interesting to watch. Now, of course, you could shrug off this problem and just say, okay, just go and play in CWC, because that's the grand thing, that's where everything comes together, that's where the real boys play. The problem is not everybody can play in the CWC, and that can be for multiple reasons, not even skill-wise. There's really good players who can't play in CWC simply down to the fact because their country isn't good enough. We have Ken in Catch the Beat, for example. He's a Tunisian guy, one of my good friends in OSU, and he's a really well capable player, and he can definitely play in CWC. The problem is the rest of Tunisian players just aren't good. They don't even play CTB seriously. I think the second place Tunisian player only has 2k PP, while Ken is around the 9,000, so they can't even sign up to CWC. And the same goes for Rampage 88. He's a very good hidden player, and he can do very good spinners as well. He's on the top of a lot of leaderboards because of this. He is a very capable player, but once again, he's from Saudi Arabia, and that leads to, you know, not being able to form a team for CWC. Why? Because Saudi Arabia just doesn't have the players for it. Now, on the contrary, we have South Korea or China, for example. These two countries have dozens of capable players, and they just all want to play in CWC. The point is, there can only be 6 people per country playing in CWC, so a lot of very good players won't be able to play even if they're better than some of the top de la creme from, for example, you know, some European countries or some South American countries, just saying. And you could say that this is also a problem for Standard, even, you know, worse for Standard, since Standard has so many players that a lot of them won't be able to participate in OWC, even way more than in Catch the Beat. And it just feels like you're taking steps back and you're not even helping the community. You're blocking people from being able to relive the competitive feeling of really playing in a very big, important tournament like OWC. Because we, as community-driven tournament hosts, we can't even host these kind of things near the level of CWC. We don't have the rewards for it. And no, I'm not gonna pay $200 for about 18 players getting supported, while you can do it for free. Okay, and lastly, I would like you, hopefully, to please put the formal post up as soon as possible. Because even though I've made so many discussion points here, I don't even know the reason why you removed this feature. So please put it up as soon as possible. Maybe I'll have second thoughts, and if not, hopefully we can talk it out some way. And also, my apologies if I came over as rude throughout this video. It's just that I'm a little bit frustrated about this entire situation. I'll be a nice guy next time, pinky promise. Anyway, thank you to anyone who's watched the entire video. I know this might not be of interest to most of you guys, maybe even 99% of the entire player base, but for the people that it does interest, it's actually a very big matter. So I thank you very much for hearing me out and listening to what kind of problems this might cause if this is going to go into effect. Anyway, thanks again. Please share this video all you can, because it helps me to get this message across to the tournament staff as soon as possible, and hopefully we can either talk things out or I can get a response on the questions in my video. So yeah, I hope you have a nice day or night wherever you live, and I will hopefully see you in the next video. Thank you.